Hey, this is Sal.
And this is Val,
host of the HREBA Show, Home Ownership, Hear It From the Experts.
Broadcasting live each week on Tuesdays at 2 to 3 p.m. from the Fishbowl Radio Network studios at Globe Light Park in Arlington, Texas.
Log on to hear from industry experts such as realtors, loan officers, title agents, and other real estate-related professionals who will provide you important information if you're looking to buy your first home or if you're looking to sustain your current home.
So be sure to log on each week on Tuesdays at 2 p.m. to catch the HREBA Show.
Saludos, soy Olga Ríos de HREBA Show. Sintonícenos en español cada tercer martes del mes de 2 a 3 de la tarde. ¿Desea obtener información sobre la compra de una casa o retención de su actual vivienda? Tendremos invitados especiales expertos sobre una diversidad de temas en bienes raíces, tales como financiación hipotecaria, asistencia de enganche, cómo mejorar su crédito y demás temáticas. Así que únete a nosotros, conéctate a HREBA Show en español cada tercer martes de 2 a 3. Los esperamos.
Good afternoon. Thank you. You're listening to the HREBA Show, Home Ownership, Hear From the Experts, live from Fishbowl Radio Network at Globe Life Park in the great American city of Arlington, Texas. My name is Val Garcia, and I'll be hosting today. My co-host, Salvador Villalobos, decided to get sick on us. My understanding is he is laid up in bed eating chicken noodle soup. Some people say with a fork, but that's kind of crazy if you ask me. But Sal, hope you're getting better. Hope you're out there listening. Feel free to text in if you have any questions, because we have an incredible guest today. I'm very happy to introduce Miss Sarah Cox. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. Thanks so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course. And Sarah is here to help us understand lending.
Oh, yes. All things lending.
Very exciting, isn't it?
Yes, always.
So, Sarah, can you tell us just a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. So, first of all, thanks so much for having me.
Of course.
It's nice to be back here at the ballpark. It's gorgeous. I used to office out of here many moons ago.
Yeah, it's very different now. It's quiet, isn't it?
It is. It is quiet.
Now it's got a soccer field out in the middle of it.
I know, but it's beautiful. It will always be beautiful.
Yeah, I'm glad they're repurposing the stadium for sure.
For sure. But yes, so good to be here. But like you said, I'm Sarah Cox. I have been in mortgage, Val, since 2002.
So that is how many years?
This fall will be 19 years.
19 years? Are you serious?
Yeah, 19 years. So it's been a long time. And I mean, my first job in mortgage was for a broker, and I worked as a receptionist. And I just kind of worked my way up from there. I did processing. I was a sales assistant. I have done compliance, servicing, all kinds of things within this business. But
now, compliancing, that's the evil word, right?
Yeah.
That's where y'all find people making mistakes.
You know, back in the day when 2000, what was it? 2000, well, after the crash, everything switched, right? With compliance and with regulatory oversight became, obviously kind of a bad word, but at the same time, it was a good thing. We saw a lot of really bad stuff happen after the housing market crashed. A lot of people lost their homes and were in a bad place. And so I think that the regulatory oversight that came down after that was important. And it's something that I helped facilitate with the mortgage company I was with at the time. So I loved it. I really enjoyed doing it. And it helped give me, I think, a really good foundation for lending on this side of it now.
That's good. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about lending. And just to give you an idea of what our audience is we are realtors, we are loan officers, title company people out there listening. We're also first-time home buyers out there. We're people that have got 3 or 4 properties or that do refis all the time or do flip homes. So in the most generic of terms and the easiest to understand, what is lending?
Yeah, no,
when
that's
people
really
say
good.
Lending.
And you know what? I love putting it in those terms for anybody that I talk to, in these terms that I'm going to explain, because I think that the mortgage, just the word mortgage, kind of has a connotation that overwhelms people, thinking I'm going to be taking on a debt for 30 years.
People do that. When I talk to them, being a real estate broker, And I say, hey, have you called a mortgage officer? Have you called a lender? They're like, oh, they're afraid. And I'm like, why are you afraid? They're there to help.
It's true. And again, I think it's just the preconceived expectations or what they've heard or the stories, the horror stories, especially after the housing market crashed. And, one of the things, like if I had a new client giving me a call, whether they've purchased 10 homes or first home, the first thing I say is, well, first step is to fill out an application, because we can go through hypotheticals all day long, but at the end of the day, it doesn't mean anything unless I actually have the real story, the details.
How much better is it now that the applications are online?
Oh my gosh, it's fabulous. So the first thing I say, and I do speak Spanish, so for my Spanish-speaking only clients, I always feel, I will take out the always. I feel like in some cases they are more comfortable doing the application with me either in person or over the phone. They don't want to fill it out. Yeah, they don't want to fill it out.
I have found that as well.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it is kind of the reason we do this show, because I don't think there is a real understanding of what they're doing. I know that myself growing up, that I was never taught or learned this at any school or through my parents on, hey, this is how you get a mortgage. And this is why we get a mortgage.
Right.
We're just told, hey, go to the bank and get money for a house, right? And it's not that simple.
Right. So first step is always to fill out an application, whether you've done this a million times or it's your first time. First step is to do an application. After you do the application, there are 3 things that I'm looking for. The first is going to be credit. We want to make sure credit scores meet the minimum requirements. So standard programs are going to be conventional, FHA, VA, and USDA. VA and USDA are only if you qualify for those 2 programs. There are certain criteria that would require that. But after we take a look at the minimum credit score requirements, we then move on to how much do you have available to support the current monthly payments that you have, plus a new house payment, divided by your gross monthly income. We call that your capacity. What kind of capacity do you really have to support that? And so that's also known as your debt to income ratio percentage. Every lender has their own requirements of what they're looking for with a maximum debt to income ratio percentage that you can have. So every lender is different. Every program is different. There's just a lot of variables that go into it. But that's the second piece. We want to make sure the capacity is there to support the new house payment.
Now, on capacity, because I've always wanted to ask a lender this, I'm thrilled that you're here. Do you at times see people and you go, okay, your capacity, we say you can buy a $400,000 house. You can buy one, yes, you can make it work. But you look at everything else and go, but you really need to buy like $300,000 house. Is that something you're allowed to tell people?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And I do that too, because I also ask the question before I say how much they qualify for sales price wise. I want to know kind of where their mind is at as far as monthly payment goes. So I just ask them, the very first question I ask is, where do you want your monthly payments to be? I'll tell you what, Val, I have some people tell me I want to pay $500 a month.
Yeah. Wow.
And then I have some people tell me, oh no, I think I'll be like around, $1,800 or, something a little bit more realistic for maybe the price point. But the 500 people a month, I'm like, okay, that gives me a really good idea of where you're at in regards to what we're doing here. Because ultimately your taxes and insurance are going to be $500 a month, right?
Yeah.
Your total expense ratio, your principal, your interest, your taxes, and your insurance, and in some cases your homeowners association dues as well, are going to make up that total monthly payment. So a lot of what we do, or a lot of what we should do as lenders, is educate our clients on what it is that they're walking into.
Yes.
And then the third thing that we look at is the capital that they have available in order to make their total down payment and closing costs payments. Of course, there are a lot of first-time home buyer down payment assistance, not even first-time home buyer. A lot of it is just home buyer assistance that clients can get. And so I don't really hone in too much on how much, funds you really have unless they upfront tell me. But
Right.
I don't ever want a client to feel like that's going to keep them from purchasing a home.
Is it better for people to have really good credit and no money, not a lot of money to put down, or so-so credit with a ton of money to put up front?
Again, it kind of goes back to goals, because, if you have a client, a VA client, who doesn't have a lot of money, well, great news. They really don't need a lot of money because
Yeah,
they
and
qualify for
USDA
100%.
as well.
Yeah, USDA as well. Yeah. Those are the only 200% financing programs that are out there. But, you know, again, it kind of goes back to what's your goal? What's your objective? Because if your objective is to get out of the lease that you've been paying,
right.
You know, I always ask people, what's your return on investment for your rental property? Nothing.
Yeah.
You're getting nothing back at
Yeah.
the end of the year. So let's get you into a home, and then we could talk about refinancing later. So say, for instance, their credit scores aren't exactly where they need to be. As long as they meet the minimum credit score requirements, we can get you into a house.
Right.
You know?
And that's ultimately the ultimate goal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Isn't it awesome when you hand the keys or tell somebody, hey, we can get you qualified?
Yes. Oh my gosh, best feeling.
So a couple of questions for new time buyers out there. So, I come to you and say, Sarah, hey, I really want to get qualified for something, but I'm just getting into this process. I don't know how much I need down. I honestly don't even know what my credit is, to be honest. Is that something you could help me out with, like to start with, not knowing that I may be able to buy a house, but not being able to commit to you that, yes, I can?
Mm-hmm, absolutely. And it's still the same steps, you know. I mean, a lot of times folks do know where their credit score's at.
Yeah.
You know, everybody.
They know between good and bad.
Everybody knows. There are so many different programs out there that help folks kind of have an idea or have a sense of what's reporting on their
Right.
credit. So for the most part, I can get a gauge of where somebody's at. If they say, I'm pretty sure my scores are in the mid 700s, then I can kind of go off of that.
Okay.
If somebody says, I think my credit scores are in the mid 600s or higher 600s. I mean, the lowest credit scores I've seen is upper 300s, lower 400s.
Wow, I didn't know that was possible.
It's possible.
Oh my gosh.
And so then we put them on an extensive repair program for that.
Okay, so what does it cost somebody out there to work with you?
To get started?
Yeah, to get
Nothing.
started. Nothing.
Nothing. No
Again,
obligation.
nothing.
Nothing. Zero.
No obligation.
Nada. Yeah.
Do you know how many people out there have no idea about that?
Yes, I do.
And that's why they think you're the enemy sometimes.
Because there are people who have taken advantage
Yes.
of poor folks who just don't know the truth of lending, you know, and they've been told I have to pay an application fee. I'm committed once I do the application with you. I'm committed to working with you. You know, they just have all these scare tactics or whatever it is that other lenders have used on some of these clients. They have given them that fear that basically tries to keep them with them.
Yep.
And so, yeah, very sad.
Well, how did you pick Supreme Lending?
Gosh, well, I have worked with my boss. His name's Joe Gregory. I've worked with him for several years.
Hi, Joe.
Hi, Joe. And Joe, I will say, one of the hardest things to find in this business is somebody who is consistent,
Right.
somebody who is integrous, and somebody who really looks out for other people. And I've always had that experience with Joe, is that he and I have always worked really well together, and he's truly one of the most consistent managers I've ever had.
Isn't that awesome?
It is. It's huge. I mean, I think I always bring this up because I think it speaks volumes to him in several different ways. But, you know, there was a season when I didn't work with him, and it did not matter, Val. I would get a happy birthday text message from him every year.
Isn't that cool?
It's so cool.
It's really
I
just
loved
business.
it.
It's people. Right?
It's
relationships.
relationships,
Yeah.
absolutely, and that's what this business is about. Without people and without relationships and true connection, not artificial, because you can spot that a mile away, right?
Yeah.
I think that's really what helped lead me towards Supreme, because he was partnering with Supreme and invited me to be a part of this.
Okay. So, do you guys just do new builds, new home purchases? Do y'all do refis?
Do everything.
Everything.
Everything under the sun. Yeah, we do construction. We do renovation loans. We do first-time homebuyer loans. We do. We just rolled out a new program with FHA that is 5% towards down payment.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it is not a down payment assistance program. So that's huge, because
Yeah.
obviously it's nice to just go through FHA, not have to worry about any of the standard guideline restrictions that some of those programs have. Like income restrictions is really big for a lot of those programs. You can't make X number of dollars, and sometimes those dollars are low. You know, I'm just like, come on, program.
Yeah.
How is somebody really going to
Yeah.
survive off of that income, you know? So these programs, this new program that we just rolled out is fantastic. But yeah, we do all the different loan programs that you could think of. When it comes to financing real estate, we can do it.
That's awesome. So I had a tricky question for you, and
Sure.
I'm just going to kind of throw it on you at the last minute here, because we did not talk about this.
Yeah, we haven't talked about any of this.
I want to know if you have a story in lending, and I'll kind of explain to you what I'm looking for.
Sure.
So, as a real estate agent, I helped a couple that had never owned a home. Nobody in their family had ever owned a home, always apartments. And when I got them into their very first home, like their family's very first home, they husband and wife both sat and cried and cried and cried when I handed them the keys, and it was like the greatest day of my life, and that's why I do this job.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a story like that in lending, where you've helped somebody and it just kind of took your breath away?
I feel like I have countless stories like that. I could think of so many times where clients have come to me. I mean, it honestly is countless transactions that I've done where they've come to me and have told me, everybody told me no. Everybody turned me away. Everybody told me it was a lost cause. No one could figure out my situation, whether they be self-employed, whether they were a server at a restaurant, and nobody could figure out how much income they really qualified for. People never getting phone calls back.
Right.
Like I've tried to reach out to this lender, they never return my call.
That's so sad.
Honestly,
it defeats you. Is what it does.
It does.
Yeah.
And especially for, because I do speak Spanish and half my clients are Spanish speaking only. A lot of times they just don't have anybody who will take care of them in an integrous way, and really be able to speak their language or make it to where they understand the process.
Right.
They just kind of like glaze over everything and just kind of, just so quick that the client doesn't understand, that they don't even know what happened, And so, yeah, I mean, there are so many times where, I've had pictures of clients moving in the rain, and they send me pictures of them moving all their kids' stuff in, families that have, blended their homes together, and now they've got, 6-7 kids between the two of them, and they're all living in an apartment, and, they call me up and they're just like, please tell me this is going to work, please, they're just on pins and needles because they just don't know. And I, it's hard in this business on my side for me to tell them, listen, I promise, like, I wouldn't put you in the situation where I qualified you. If I give you a pre-approval letter, it's because I know your loan's going to work. I know that we're going to make it happen. So please don't, I get it. You're always going to worry until you have the key in your hand, but I promise we're taking care of you.
So we have a couple of minutes before the break, so I want to ask you one last question.
Sure.
So I found in this business that people really just take their time and take their time and take their time to the very last minute, and then they decide to buy a house, and then all of a sudden they want it like today. They were in a hurry before, but now that they've decided they want to do it, they want to do it today. So if someone sends you all their paperwork, turns in all their applications and everything, and they're good to go, what kind of timeline is somebody looking for from reaching out to you, getting qualified, and being able to go out and find houses?
So in this market, kind of where we're at right now, unfortunately, I would say we have a shortage of appraisers. Not so much. I mean, yes, we have a shortage of homes. We have a shortage of, all these other things. But appraisals are taking the longest when it comes to getting a file in and out,
Yes.
But we'll just say kind of a perfect scenario here for the break. Perfect scenario, we've got somebody with excellent credit, salaried employee, been on the job several years, 20% down payment on a conventional loan. We have something, Fannie and Freddie have created something called an appraisal waiver, which allows us to take the address of the property and then determine if we actually need an appraisal or not. So they recognize the shortage of appraisers that we have and the inability to get those back very quickly. And so what they do is they say, hey, all things are good. Go ahead. You can proceed within 7 days of getting the application.
Right. Man, that is awesome.
I know.
That is really fast.
So yeah, we could do it within 10 days, I would say, is a safe bet.
Okay. Well, we have to take a break, but after the break, I have a superstar coming in for our HREBA member spotlight of the week. So can't wait to introduce you to this person. Sarah, you want to give out how somebody can contact you?
Yeah, absolutely. So phone numbers, the best number to reach me at, text me or call me at 817-456-1678. Email address is sarah.cox@supremelending.com.
Awesome. Thank you. See you after the break.
Hey, this is Sal,
And this is Val,
host of the HREBA Show, Home Ownership, Hear It From the Experts.
broadcasting live each week on Tuesdays at 2 to 3 p.m. from the Fishbowl Radio Network studios at Globe Life Park in Arlington, Texas.
Log on to hear from industry experts such as realtors, loan officers, title agents, and other real estate-related professionals who will provide you important information if you're looking to buy your first home or if you're looking to sustain your current home.
So be sure to log on each week on Tuesdays at 2 p.m. to catch the HREBA Show.
Saludos, soy Olga Ríos de HREBA Show. Sintonícenos en español cada tercer martes del mes de 2 a 3 de la tarde. ¿Desea obtener información sobre la compra de una casa o retención de su actual vivienda? Tendremos invitados especiales expertos sobre una diversidad de temas en bienes raíces, tales como financiación hipotecaria, asistencia de enganche, cómo mejorar su crédito y demás temáticas. Así que únete a nosotros, conéctate a HREBA Show en español cada tercer martes de 2 a 3. Los esperamos.
Hi, I'm Sal. I'm the host of the HREBA Show, Home Ownership, Hear It From the Experts, on the Fishbowl Radio Network every Tuesday from 2 to 3. I've been a loan officer for the past 25 years.
And I'm Val Garcia. I've been a real estate broker for the last 10 years, and I'm a co-host.
Saludos, I'm Olga Ríos. I have experience in real estate investments for the past 11 years and have served my community as a realtor for nearly 5 years.
Here on the HREBA Show, we'll be bringing you information if you're looking to sustain your home, looking to purchase a home, or if you're trying to prepare to buy a home.
On the HREBA Show, we'll be bringing you experts every week in all aspects of real estate, everything from home warranty companies to loan officers to home inspectors to help guide you along the way.
So no need to fear, we are here to provide a wealth of information for you. Join us Tuesdays at 2 p.m. Saludos, soy Olga Ríos, anfitriona de HREBA Show en español. Sintonícenos cada tercer martes del mes a las 2 de la tarde. Mi familia ha invertido en bienes raíces por los últimos 11 años y yo he servido a mi comunidad como agente inmobiliaria por casi 5 años. ¿Desea obtener más información sobre el proceso de la compra de una casa o cómo sostener su actual vivienda? Les invito a que participen, a escuchar de nuestros invitados especiales que son expertos en bienes raíces. Nuestros expertos le guiarán y contestarán sus preguntas sobre asistencia financiera sobre los gastos de costos de cierre o de enganche y también sobre escrituras, inspección de casa, seguros de casa, toda la información que usted necesita para tomar una decisión informada. Le invitamos que nos sintonice cada tercer martes del mes a las 2 de la tarde. Aquí le esperamos.
On the HREBA Show, every Tuesday at 2, we will highlight a special HREBA member. This member will share how they were able to help someone just like you achieve your dream of homeownership. They will share with us their secrets to serving. Join us Tuesday at 2 for our Member Spotlight. Are you very close to qualifying for a home mortgage, but not quite there? Then you may qualify to receive free help increasing your credit score. For more information, visit the HREBA website, www.hrebaconnect.org. Click on Project Echo.
Hey, this is Sal.
And this is Val.
Host of the REBA Show, Home Ownership, Hear It From the Experts.
Broadcasting live each week on Tuesdays at 2 to 3 p.m. from the Fishbowl Radio Network studios at Globe Life Park in Arlington, Texas.
Log on to hear from industry experts such as realtors, loan officers, title agents, and other real estate-related professionals who will provide you important information if you're looking to buy your first home or if you're looking to sustain your current home.
So be sure to log on each week on Tuesdays at 2 p.m. to catch the REBA Show.
Saludos, soy Olga Ríos de HREBA Show. Sintonícenos en español cada tercer martes del mes de 2 a 3 de la tarde. ¿Desea obtener información sobre la compra de una casa o retención de su actual vivienda? Tendremos invitados especiales expertos sobre una diversidad de temas en bienes raíces, tales como financiación hipotecaria, asistencia de enganche, cómo mejorar su crédito y demás temáticas. Así que únete a nosotros, conéctate a REBA Show en español cada tercer martes de 2 a 3. Los esperamos.
Hey, welcome back. Welcome back. You're listening to the REBA Show, Home Ownership, Hear It From the Experts, live from Fishbowl Radio Network at Globe Life Park, Arlington, Texas, the American Dream City. Arlington's actually pretty awesome.
It's beautiful.
We met with the city manager at a REBA event.
It was so good.
It was awesome, wasn't it?
He was awesome.
He was.
Yes.
And there were so many things about Arlington I had no idea about.
I
Just
know.
completely changed my mindset on it. It's a great city.
Absolutely.
Absolutely great city. Well, my name is Val Garcia. Normally here was Salvador Villalobos, but Sal has gotten ill. I don't know if it was bad pancakes or what, but I understand that he's laid up in bed with his feet up and watching like Wheel of Fortune all day or something, but I hope you get better, Sal. Anyway, missing you, bud. But I am proud to introduce to you our secret REBA member of the week. Surprise, surprise. It's
Surprise!
Sarah Cox.
I'm back.
She's back. She's back.
But now I'm Sarah Hernandez Cox.
Sarah Hernandez Cox. Oh, for those
Got
of
to
y'all.
throw in the maiden name.
That's right. She can never let go of the Hernandez part.
That's right.
But anyway, we're excited to have you. So glad you were able to stay over. I
Yeah,
was excited
absolutely.
yesterday when we spoke, and you said you'd be happy to do it. I
pleasure.
really do like speaking with people on the business side and then their personal side. Really kind of get a better idea who you are. But so, how long have you been with REBA?
Well, it was, oh gosh, I can't remember the year. I want to say 2012 or 13. When did REBA start? Do you remember? I think it was 2000. I want to say 13, 14, somewhere around there when it first started.
Leticia,
Yeah.
text me. Let me know. I'm not 100% sure.
I'm sorry, Lithia. I should know this. But when it first started, we were on, what is that, Pioneer Parkway or 360 in Division, somewhere around
Right.
there. And we were meeting at Dixie Cafe. It was like, I was at the very beginning, at the very, very beginning of REBA.
You're one of the old school gangsters, the original OGs. Wow.
I mean, come on, being in mortgage for 19 years at this point. I mean, what else? What else are you going to say about this? But yeah, it's from the very beginning. They asked me to be a part of it, and it was a pleasure. I mean, it was, ground floor, kind of figuring out the nuts and bolts of the business. It's been exciting to see how much it's grown, and to even be here right now doing the spotlight. It's amazing.
Isn't it cool?
Yeah.
Isn't it cool? They took something super, super tiny. 2 people, 3 people
I
started
know.
it. And now look, they have a weekly radio show where they're out trying to help the community.
It's fantastic.
Isn't that
It's
awesome?
exactly what I think everyone's vision was, right? Just they really did an excellent job of not just casting the vision, but actually following through and seeing it happen,
It really speaks to leadership. I mean, it really does.
Absolutely.
It does thing. So, just in case somebody's popping in, can you just kind of tell us a quick little background about yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. So I am Sarah Hernandez Cox. Been in mortgage since 2002. Started out as a receptionist in this business, and I've been doing it ever since. I've got 2 little girls. They're 5 and 6 years old. My husband and I live in North Fort Worth area towards Roanoke, Texas Motor Speedway.
Okay. That's the fastest growing area in Dallas.
Oh,
now,
yes.
by Alliance.
Oh, yes, absolutely. That area, and let me tell you, that 35, it will always be behind.
Yep.
Because they're growing and they're expanding the freeway, but it's never going to be big enough to support the amount of population that we have over there. It's crazy.
Yeah, going to a lot of the real estate information centers that I deal with, that is going to be the biggest blow up in Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Absolutely.
Over the next 10 years. So
it's amazing to see that spot just grow with, infrastructure, restaurants, businesses, hospitals. Charles Schwab just moved to their corporate offices over there. Facebook, everything's just growing up in that area, and it's exciting to be a part of it because it's really neat. I mean, the school district's fantastic, the neighborhood is fantastic, everybody's just great, and we love it.
That's awesome. So how did you find HREBA way back then?
So, because I've been in mortgage for so long, prior to HREBA, I was a part of the National Hispanic Real Estate Association, known as NAREP, as well.
Don't talk about that.
I kind of figured as much. But a few members that I met, Rachel Fierro,
Okay.
Leticia, Marty, they were all people that I had met back then. So I've known Rachel, since 2012 probably is when she and I met. And so because of those networking events and because of those connections, that's when they decided that they wanted to start HREBA at that point and really focus in on the fact that it is a 501c3, a nonprofit organization that goes out and helps the community.
Right.
And not just the real estate professional per se. Yes, it is educational and it is very informative and it's very helpful to our business, but it also is giving back.
Yeah.
And that was huge for me because it's something that I always supported. I've always been a part of charitable organizations and have really enjoyed that aspect of HREBA.
Isn't it funny? Because I know when I first started, just like I imagine a lot of people in real estate is, okay, how's this going to help my business?
Sure.
How's this going to help my business? And the longer I've hung around, the longer I've visited with people and getting to understand what this organization do, you come really quickly realize that it's not about your business. It's about helping people out there in need.
Absolutely.
And your mindset changes to, how can my business help somebody more than can I help my business through this organization?
Absolutely.
Which is really awesome. I mean, it's one of the few organizations that I know about that is genuinely out there looking to help people.
Yes.
So thank you for being a part of it so long.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's my pleasure.
That being said, what is your favorite HREBA event that you've ever been to?
I think that the North Texas Day of Giving, the very first one that we did, was probably one of my first and favorite memories because it was such a hands-on approach, for all the board members and everybody that was a part of it. I think it was in 2014, if I'm not mistaken. And I only remember that year because it was the year that I had my first daughter. And it was just kind of a whirlwind for me in the sense of kind of getting back in the groove of things
Right.
and doing things and growing. So it was 14 or 15, but I think that was one of my favorite events to be a part of because we were really like ground level trying to raise funds for different events that we wanted to host, the scholarship programs and just ways to give back. And so I think that was definitely my favorite memory.
And all those programs have grown. I mean,
I know.
Everything's growing.
Yes.
Which is
yes, it's fantastic.
just a testament to the people in this organization.
I know.
And I always tell people, hey, you got to sign up, not just more sign up, but you got to be part of it.
Yes.
You got to put yourself out there. It's
Yes.
uncomfortable at first, but once you do, you'll really make some good friends and you're going to learn what it's like to really help the community.
Well, and you know what? I think that there's such a misconception for loan officers to think that we need to be, people on the financing, the mortgage lending side, that we just need to kind of stick with networking with agents.
Yeah.
And that's not the case. I think that there's so much power and there's so much more, you feel so much more empowered when you start empowering others.
Yes.
You just feel like, hey, I can make so much more of a footprint. So when I became a branch manager at Supreme, that was really one of my reasonings was, I'm doing well as a loan officer, but I need to take this a different step. I need to take a step further and start empowering others to do the same because it's life-changing. And so really for me with HREBA, it's been networking and growing and building, these relationships that last really, I believe, a lifetime.
Right. So where are you from?
Arizona.
Arizona.
Yeah, who's from Arizona?
Oh my gosh, nobody's from Arizona.
Everyone just retires there, right?
I thought that's where people go. Yeah, I didn't think people came here from.
I am from Tucson, Arizona.
So is it hotter there or here?
Oh yeah, 100% hotter there. Yeah,
Yeah?
It's probably, the difference between Arizona and Texas is our humidity. I was looking this morning at our humidity, and we were at about like 50 to 60%, humidity at 6:30 in the morning. Arizona is typically around 10 to like 20% humidity, so it feels like an oven when you're there in the summers. Oh yeah, I do not miss that heat. Oh my goodness.
Well, if you don't like it this much here, don't go down to Houston because it's a lot worse.
I know. I don't.
Yeah. So what brought you?
I had a lot of friends that lived here, and I didn't have too much of a I wouldn't say I didn't see myself staying in Arizona long term. I didn't see myself as a young kid. I was like 17, 18 years old, and I said, I've got a lot of friends that live out in Texas. I met them all at a convention one year, and I said, I think I just want to go to Texas. Like, that's it. Like, I just told my parents, I'm the youngest of four. And so, of course, my parents looking at me as the youngest of four were like, not our baby. You're not going by yourself. So they all literally packed up.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
My sister, my dad, my mom, and then eventually my brother came. I have one sister who's still out in Arizona.
That is such our community thing.
It is.
Too, isn't it, right? That's how
is.
My parents came from the Valley, and that's how they got here. My dad's sister moved up to Dallas, and he's like, no, I'm going with y'all.
Yeah.
And, all of a sudden we're here now. So.
I know. And it's interesting. My sister from Arizona, she still lives over there. She came and visited with her family, and I'm just like, can you even imagine?
Yeah.
Can you even imagine how far we've come in the last, 20-something years that we've been here now?
Yeah.
And it's amazing just to kind of see the power of, perspective and willingness to change and willingness to take that leap of faith and obviously the testament of family, having that support.
That's amazing. So Leticia did reach out to me. REBA started in 2014, so you were correct.
I thought so. Somewhere around there.
Look at you. Big time memory on you.
Yeah, I know. I base it off of children. Children's births.
Oh, my goodness. So awesome.
Good deal.
So earlier we talked about a story on how you help somebody in lending and something like that. Is there any stories you can tell us where maybe something the public doesn't see or something that you saw at a REBA event and thought, that's why I'm here? That's why I come to these.
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen time and time again families that were impacted by REBA volunteering at homes, going to houses to help, whether it be maintenance on the yard or painting a home or just something as simple as something inside somebody's house that needs to be fixed and they couldn't get somebody or they couldn't afford it to be done, and REBA would just roll up their sleeves and go out there and do it. And those are the things that have always stayed with me and have always impacted me with this organization. Their willingness to not ask any questions and to just go out and do it, and the amount of members who are willing to be a part. Because it's one thing to have all your volunteers on the board, but it's another thing to have members willing to be a part and chip in and help out with that.
Yeah. We both have daughters, and I tell my children all the time, especially we do a lot of functions to our church, and I was like, and just like REBA does, we go out and we work on a house for somebody, or we go in somebody's yard or pick up the trash or clean stuff up or haul junk away. It's only a few hours for us. It's a few hours. I go, but you cannot put into words what it feels like when you're finished, number one. And then you can definitely not put into word the gratitude that people have when you help them. So if you're out there and you've never been a part of something like that, sign up. Mm-hmm. We have those days coming. Yeah. Sign up. Go out and help. I mean, Miss Sarah's here to tell you that it's life-changing for you and for the person you help.
Absolutely. We've been blessed with so much in this business, and we're very fortunate to be a part of the real estate community and be a real estate professional. That for us sometimes it's just changing our perspective and taking a minute to stop looking inward and look at ourselves and start looking outward and seeing who we can impact.
So you play golf?
I do not play golf, no, but I do attend to golf tournaments.
You do come to the golf tournaments? Okay, so we're having
it's coming up.
It is coming up in
October 5th? No,
October 11th.
October 11th.
No, sorry.
Uh-oh.
It's on my other phone. I just got a brand new phone. I don't have it in here. I am so sorry. I think you're correct. It's on a Monday.
Yeah,
so
I feel like it's the 5th. But
I think it's the 5th as well.
But that's a perfect time for us to do the golf tournament. I went to one recently that got postponed because of the rain, and oh my Lord, that weather.
October 4th, I believe.
October 4th. Good deal.
Yeah. So I have a very tricky question, and I will give you like 10 seconds to think of an answer. So what does home ownership mean to you? Like, if you could put it into words.
No, that's not tricky at all. I think that that's an easy one for me because I feel like a home, isn't just a place to live, but I feel like a home provides so much more than a place to put your things. It provides protection. It provides a place of security, of safety, stability, thinking about families that go from apartment to apartment or rental home to rental home. You know, a home that you can live in and grow roots in. I think homeownership represents so much more than just a place to live. And I think that when we as real estate professionals look at it from that perspective of what am I actually doing here, we would handle everything with so much care, you know, and really take in consideration the families that are impacted behind it, the memories that will be made in that home.
Absolutely. You couldn't have said it better. That is absolutely incredible. The golf tournament is October 4th. We are most definitely looking for sponsors out there.
Yes.
If anybody wants to come join and be part of it. More importantly, we're looking for people to come out.
Absolutely.
Come out, get a team together, come out and play. It is one of the funnest days we do at REBA all year long. You get food, you get to be around people, get to hang out, have fun, play jokes. Just, it is a great day.
Absolutely.
If you're not part of the organization, sign up, come out, or come out and see what it is, see what it's all about. Come out there. You will not leave without a membership. Mm-hmm. You will absolutely enjoy it. Sarah, I cannot thank you enough for coming in today.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
I really enjoyed visiting with you today. So thank you. And again, if anybody needs help with lending, you can reach Sarah at
817-456-1678 or email me at sarah.cox@supremelending.com.
Okay. Here at the REBA Show, we serve you by providing information about home ownership as you prepare for home ownership or to sustain your current home. It is important to us that you have all the information and tools you need to make informed financial decisions. Become a loyal fan of this, the REBA Show. Just to let you know a little bit about ourselves, we are Hispanic Real Estate Brokers Association, a registered 501 nonprofit corporation. We have been streaming live on Facebook, the REBA Show. Please follow us on Facebook and on Twitter at REBA Show. This episode is also available as a podcast if you want to go back and listen to it later, or just catch it after you get out of work or away from your clients. But we'd love to get you to hear it and understand our information. You can catch the podcast at the REBA Show page at fbrn.us and at rebaconnect.org. If you have any questions out there, anything you heard about today, please email us at the REBA Show at rebaconnect.org. Again, I am Val Garcia with Sarah Cox, thanking you for listening, and have a great afternoon.
Thank you.